Grab a beer and pull up a chair. Welcome to the Northwoods Beer Guy Podcast. All right, everybody, and welcome to the Northwoods Beer Guy Podcast. Today we are kind of on a field trip, I guess you could say. We are in Cedar Falls, Iowa, and we are at Second State Brewing. So this is the first time that I've ever been here, and it'll be interesting. We got, normally when we, as you know, when we do our podcast, we talk about not only how the beer tastes and smells, things like that, but also how the artwork on the can or the bottle. Being at the brewery, we don't have a can or bottle, so we are actually having two flights of we have one of each of all 10 beers that they have. And today I'm actually joined by Jim. Jim, how are you doing?
Good, Mike. Glad to be here.
Good. I say Jim and I have had a lot of craft beer together, so he's kind of another expert, so to speak, or at least we try.
Thanks. I appreciate that, Mike.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So let's get the show on the road here. So the first beer that we're having is called One Time at Band Camp. So it should be interesting. It's really like a dark, almost an amber color. Looks really good. So let's see what we got. Wow, that's definitely got an apple.
Ooh, you can smell the sweetness,
cinnamon in it. That is definitely not what I was expecting. I mean, just by the color, I was thinking more of an amber. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't mind that.
Yeah. Well, what's weird is it smells appley, but the taste is not as
right.
It's not like apple cider.
Right. But like I said, it has an apple flavor, an apple cinnamon flavor, but it's not overpowering at all. I mean, that is wow.
The finish is a little dry to me. I don't know. It's not as smooth on the back end as the front to me.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, but it's
definitely not bad.
It's not bad. I mean, it's one of those you could definitely drink a pint of that.
Yes, I think.
I don't know if I'd want a whole lot of them, but I mean, it's good. I mean, that's different. I was not expecting that. No,
I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, for sure. A little history on, I guess, we know it opened in 2017, so it's been around it's in its 6th year, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the atmosphere here is real nice. I mean, we're actually, I think, at a good time when there's not too many people here, but it seems like it's a nice part of town and a very nice setup.
Kind of an industrial look inside the tap room. We have some art on the wall. Walls
and all the tables are made out of bowling lanes.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Should we rate this one? Or?
Yeah, I guess what taste and aroma and look, I guess, what do you think it is?
Well, I guess being surprised, I think I'm going to go with I'd like a 3-star on that.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say 3.1, somewhere in there. I'd go 3.
3?
Yeah, okay. That'll work. I mean, it's definitely above average. So it's
and what is your average? Where are you at?
My average on a 5-star scale would be 2.5. Okay, would be average. So 3, I think it's right there. I think that'd be good.
So a little bit above average, which is good. Yeah. Yep. All right.
So the second one we have is S'mores. It's a sweet stout, it says. Oh, wow. That smells like marshmallow. That is wild.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good smell of marshmallow.
I mean, it smells like marshmallow. That's probably the most I've ever smelled a beer smell like marshmallow.
Now, what was the style of this one, Mike?
It's a sweet stout.
Sweet stout.
That is something. I mean, it's not, like I said, the marshmallow, you can really pick that up on the smell, but the taste, it's not like super overpoweringly sweet from the marshmallow.
Right. I mean, when you said sweet stout, I was expecting even stronger sweetness, but it's not.
Right.
It's got a good balance between the marshmallow and the.
Yeah, because we've had other sweet stouts and they've been really sweet. Where this one is not overly, really over the top sweet. So that's nice.
I was just going to take a look here to see what
it says on the board.
I was going to try to pick up the ABV.
Oh yeah,
but I think all these are under 10. I think what I saw. So it's not,
I think they're kind of a more mellow, and in the middle 5-6. I think most of them have been.
Yeah, I definitely say that's up. I mean, that's a nice.
That's nice.
I mean, even on the finish on the back end, it doesn't leave any bad aftertaste. Mm-hmm. It's smooth all the way through.
Yeah, I'm thinking for a score. I'm thinking like a 3.3, 3.4.
Yeah, I would go to 3.4. I mean, that's definitely above average.
Yeah,
I mean, it's up there with one of the better stouts that we've had.
Yeah.
Just
like I said, a lot of the sweet stouts or the pastry stouts that we've had have been really sweet. So I mean, it's been kind of, you're expecting that over-the-top sweetness.
Oh, for sure.
And this one didn't do that. That was a nice surprise. So,
what's good is at least they're starting with some good ones for us.
Yeah,
right. We're not.
Yeah. When they have 10 beers, we just got 2 flights, and we went right down their menu. So that's how they have them in this order. So,
all right. Well, should I start the next one for you? That is their Doppelbock.
Okay.
All right.
And it definitely has that dark amber color to it. It looks like a Doppelbock, so it should be interesting.
I'm not picking up a smell, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, it has a very faint lager type smell to it.
Not sure what that flavor is, though.
Well, I mean, it's a Bock type flavor. There's not a huge amount of flavor to it, though. That's kind of the strange.
It's a little hard to describe.
Right. I was expecting it to have a little more flavor to it.
Right.
It's good. I mean, you could, it's non-offensive. That's for sure.
Right. Non-offensive. I think nondescript is probably a better.
Yeah. As far as Doppelbocks that we've had, that's not. It could use more flavor.
Right. I mean, I was expecting, especially by the first two, with the flavor balance they've had, I was expecting a little bit more out of this one.
Right.
So, I mean, definitely not bad, but it's not good. It's like it's right there in the middle of the flavor. I think they had a good idea. I think they just forgot a little bit, a little more flavor to get it.
Yeah, they could use level. They could use just a little bit more flavor. And I hate to say it, it leaves you wanting something more. I mean, and like I said, we've had Doppelbocks and such, but it's just not. I don't know. It's not bad, but it's just not for the style. It's kind of average.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm thinking honestly like a 2.6, 2.7.
Right. I was gonna say right in there. I mean, because it's not offensive, but it's not anything like, oh wow, I want to go out and have another one.
Right.
So we'll do the 2.6. Is that all right with you?
That's fine.
All right.
The next one is Illusory Haze. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped one. Blood Orange Blonde. They look the same, though.
Yeah.
It's definitely a blonde. It's a little bit hazy. It's like a blonde ale. There's not much smell to it. Oh, you can taste the blood orange in it. Yeah. Not overpowering.
Yeah, there's not much smell.
Very subtle.
Oh.
I mean, you can taste the orange, but it's really subtle. Which is good.
I mean, that's one of those beers you could drink a couple on a hot day if it was ice cold. I think that'd be a good. It'd really quench your thirst. I think you're outside.
I would agree.
Because that orange, they have the right balance in there.
Yep.
It's not overpowering like some of those other beers that taste like Pledge. This is not.
I was going to say we've had a number of blood orange beers, and it's one or the other. Either you can't taste it, or it's way over the top. But this one is almost right in the wheelhouse there. Where
again, I think this is our fourth one of this flight so far. I think they've had a good balance. They've only had one that's been a little bit lacking in the flavor.
Right.
The other three have been had a good balance and nothing over the top or way out of whack. So I'm impressed so far.
No doubt. Like I said, that's good. Like I said, in most blonde ales, I've noticed they really don't have a huge amount of flavor.
Right.
And it reminds me like blonde ales, red ales, even brown ales, are kind of lacking a little bit in a lot of flavor. But with the addition of that blood orange in it, it gave it just the right amount of flavor. So
and I mean the finish is not bad. There's not a bad aftertaste.
No, not at all.
No, I mean that's definitely one. I mean, if I had to take one out for to mow my lawn, this would be I think one of my favorites right here.
Exactly. So out of 5, what are you thinking on that one?
Boy, I'm thinking like a 3.5 or a 3.6. I don't know what. I know it's not one of the higher alcohol ones,
right? But I mean, for the style, it impressed me. So yeah, I mean, we could do a 3.5.
Are you all right with that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right,
for sure. And remember, folks, I'll be posting pictures. We have a picture of the 2 flights together, so you can at least see what we've been talking about. And we'll put that on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And then, again, like I said, look us up there. Look us up on Untappd, things like that. And
or if you're out and about, you might actually see us out one night, too.
Exactly. You never know. So, all right. So the next one is the Illusory Haze. So it's a hazy IPA. And, again, it very similar color as the blonde was. I mean, it's like your normal hazy IPA kind of color.
and definitely hazy where you're not able to look through your glass. So that blood orange you can see through.
Right. Yeah, you can smell the hops, but it's subtle. It does have kind of that grapefruit kind of a smell that you would think that a hazy IPA would have.
Oh yeah, I can smell that. But just for everybody's understanding, I'm not an IPA guy either, so I'm not downgrading any IPA in particular. I just don't like it too many.
Right. That is true. And that's one of those things that when I first started getting into craft beer, I was the same way. I didn't like IPAs. And then I basically said one year, I'm like, I'm going to drink as many IPAs as I can just to get used to it.
Yep.
And that's what I did. And now I don't mind. I can basically drink those. And this past year, I did the same thing, but for sours. And the one thing I've noticed now on sours is they're more like a sweeter thing than a sour. The vast majority of them are more like a pastry sour, or
getting a lot of fruit involved.
A lot of fruits, yeah. Which I'm not complaining about because I've had a few that have been very tart and it's kind of like, but.
Well, I'd have to say with this one, I mean, granted, again, I'm not an IPA guy, but this is not one of those over the top. I think making it hazy does make it a little more palatable. It's just that smell the smell it will catch you right up front.
Yep.
But I mean, the flavor is not bad.
No.
It is not like a regular IPA, which is good.
Right.
I mean, I'm able to drink it a little easier.
Yep. Because the hazy part of it actually kind of knocks down the hoppiness. And it's not, because a lot of those IPAs they'll have where they're so hoppy that it's that dry finish, where your hazies don't have that. And it's a good example of it. I guess I was maybe thinking it was going to have a little more grapefruit flavor than it does. I think that's the only downside, in my opinion, is it might be lacking just a little bit on the end.
Yeah, it's not. But I mean, I think what we've seen so far in these first 5 beers, I mean, just buying a new brewery and how they're doing it, I mean, they seem to have a good balance in all their different styles so far. Yeah, I'm tasting all of them. They all seem to be what they're talking about, what they're producing is, they've got a good quality.
Yep. Yeah, and like I said, even the ones that have been kind of, it's lacking a little bit, the Doppelbock and then the hazy, they're still very good. It's just that for what we were expecting, again, this is just our opinion. I've been impressed with this place so far. I mean, they've got, the first 5 have been very good.
So how many stars do you think on that one, Mike?
That one I'd go 3. I mean, I think it's a little better than average, but, I think it could have been a little bit higher if it had a little bit more of the hazy to it. But it was good. So I give it a 3.
Yeah, I'd stick with you on that. I mean, granted, again, my scale is much lower for the IPAs, but I mean, I would definitely say this is not a bad IPA. Right. And for those of you out there that don't like IPAs like me, I mean, I think you could actually you could drink this in a flight without any problem. I can't say I drink a 12-ouncer or a 16-ouncer, but in a flight with these small glasses, it's definitely... Yep. Not a bad beer. Right. Yeah, I agree with you.
So that was the first 5. So the first 5, I mean, what do you think would you say the best of the first 5, your opinion?
Well, I think that s'mores one me. I mean, the marshmallow smell and the finish, that whole thing, that was a good one. And I think my second best one was that blood orange.
Yep. I would agree with you. I mean, that s'mores one really, really surprised me. Like I said, I couldn't believe the marshmallow aroma. I still don't, of all the s'mores beers we've had, I still don't really pick up on the graham cracker type flavor to them. Yep. But this one was by far the most I've ever tasted, I think, for marshmallow, or smelled for marshmallow.
For sure.
And you could taste it a little bit, but that was a good thing that it wasn't as strong of a flavor as it was the aroma.
True. Yep. But spot on.
For sure. And that blood orange, that, like I said, on a hot day, that would be a good one, ice cold, sitting outside or whatever. That'd be a good one. It's just the right amount of the orange and then and such. So
I'm very impressed.
And really, on those first 5, there really wasn't. And like I said, we did give the IPA, the hazy IPA, a 3. We gave the Doppelbock a 2.6, but they're both very good. I mean,
right. And based on your averages, all these are still above average.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We didn't rate anything.
Right. We have not come across one yet that was like, yeesh.
We haven't found the ground fish one yet.
Exactly. All right. Well, I guess we can start on the next set, and the first one we have is a peanut butter stout.
All right, let me see.
So this should be interesting because I've always thought that peanut butter beers, you either get that peanut butter is either like that, almost like a sandy type taste or feel to it when you drink it, or it's like way over the top. So it's going to be interesting. It's pretty hard. I haven't really found a peanut butter beer that's been, oh my gosh, that is amazing yet, but we've had a few that are close.
So it's got a good peanut butter aroma, for sure. I'm not sold on the peanut butter flavor, though.
It's there, but it's very subtle.
Yeah. And it's almost, to me, for some reason, tastes like it's watered down. Something. And what was the style on this one? Was this the porter?
Stout.
Was this stout?
It was a stout,
okay.
Yeah. Peanut butter stout.
But I mean, I think for me, it's actually probably the lowest one of all the 5 we've had before this. There's something that I can't put my finger on it.
I'm not quite that low on it, but I mean, the aroma is very good, very much peanut butter. But the flavor, the peanut butter, like I said, it's pretty subdued. You get it on the front end.
Right.
On the back end, I really not picking it up much. I mean, it's a very smooth stout.
But I mean, like for you and I, we both like stouts, and we had some very good ones.
We've got a lot of stouts, yeah.
And for me, there's something, the peanut butter, I'm not sure on the flavor. This is one of their, just of this group.
Right.
That's not quite up to par with the other ones, in my opinion.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's, like I said, it kind of falls in line with a lot of the other peanut butter stouts we've had. You know, it's still one of the best ones we've had is the Belching Beaver peanut butter.
Yes.
Does it have a peanut butter porter? Or is
peanut butter, yep.
Yes, but that one has almost the right amount of peanut butter flavor to it, where this one could use a little bit more. I think
it's hard to put your finger on, but it's like a little bit watered down. Like you can smell the flavor, but then the flavor's not there when you drink it.
Right, I mean, you can smell the peanut butter. And again, the initial drink, you get that peanut butter up front, and then it's gone.
Right.
I mean, on the back end, there's just not much. Yeah, I agree with you, Jim. I mean, I think it's, and again, it is not a bad beer, but I think this one I was expecting a little bit more because I am a big peanut butter stout fan, but.
I'm at the 2.5-ish range because I don't know if it's average. I mean, it's close to what you think. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I could go anywhere from a 2.5 to 2.7.
What do you think?
Let's do 2.5. I think for a peanut butter stout, it's average.
Yes, for sure.
You know, and again, our scale isn't based solely on trying to compare this to other peanut butter stouts. We just what we think it is overall.
Right.
So, but yeah, I think it's right there.
Yeah.
But again, you know, if that was for that one to be the lowest scoring right now, it's pretty crazy because that just tells me that these have all been very good.
Right. So, I mean, they got a good system set up.
Yes.
The brewmaster knows what he's doing.
Yep, I would agree. So that's
all right. So that is number 6.
So we got a Vienna Lager is next.
And that one's got a nice little color to it, doesn't it?
It's definitely like an amberish, almost a reddish a little bit. Looks similar to the Doppelbock in color.
Yeah, it does. Yep.
But let's
give her a whirl.
Not picking up a whole lot of smell.
That's never good when you have to take a couple of extra sniffs to.
But it wasn't offensive though, so that's a good thing. For a Vienna Lager.
Now this isn't a Vienna sausage, is it?
No, it's Vienna Lager.
All right.
Similar but different.
Okay.
One has way more flavor, and that's I think the sausage. So it's not bad. The finish is definitely a lager. You know, you can definitely tell it's a Vienna Lager at the end.
Yes. I don't know. It's like you said, the flavor's not quite. I mean, the only thing I taste on my tongue right now is it's like a little dry.
Right.
A little bit dry.
Yep.
But I don't have the flavor like I was expecting. So, I mean, again, it's not offensive like you said before, but like that flavor, you're just expecting a little bit because they kind of spoil this with those first ones, right? I mean, and now we're kind of getting the second 5 and we're not getting that same flavor.
Right. Those first 5 were extremely good. And like I said, these are good as well, but the last 2, they've been just a little missing something. And really the hazy IPA was kind of the same way. But yeah, this one you can definitely tell it's a lager.
But I mean, I think the hard part too is I think if we would have started with this one first, this flight, we'd probably everything would be switched for a little bit. But I mean, I guess I'm still liking because it's not offensive.
No,
we haven't found anything that's like we can't drink it.
No,
we haven't ever haven't came across that. But I think when you get spoiled and you're trying to like split hairs, the flavor is just a little bit off. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's not bad, but the flavor is just not there.
Right. I don't know if it's not that the flavor is off. It's just that there's not a lot of flavor. And like I said, on the initial drink, there's not much to it. And then the aftertaste is where I pick up that lagered, that's kind of style.
Sure. Yep. I agree 100%. Yeah, what do you think? What are you rating this one?
I'd do a 2.5 on that one as well. I'd say it's average, my opinion.
Oh, I'm right there. I mean, because it's not bad, it's not good.
Right.
This is definitely one of those right in the middle.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, you could go 2.4, 2.6, I mean, either way, but I think 2.5 is a good number.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of one of those things that.
So let me ask you, Mike, so have you ever seen anybody that has a weird star scale and how some people have adjusted?
Oh yeah. There's a gentleman that I know that he's on Untappd as well, and we're friends on there. And I looked on his scale, and I saw, oh my gosh, he's rated quite a few beers, and it said, because it'll tell you your average for all the beers you've done.
Yep.
And his average was like 4.25 or 4.3, something crazy.
So he must have a lot of good beers, huh?
Well. So I was talking to him one day. Actually, he brought it up, and he's like, "Hey, I got to ask you, what is your scale? I mean, like an average beer. What you think is average? What do you score?" And I said, "Well, an average beer is 2.5 out of 5."
Right.
He goes, "Oh, no wonder ours are so different." I said, "Well, what is your average?" He said, "Well, my average is 4." And I go, "Or no, it's 4.5."
Oh.
And I go, "Your average is 4.5." He goes, "Yeah." And I go, "So if it's really good, I'll give it a 5." And I'm like, "Really?" I go, "What if it's bad?" I give it a 4. And I'm like, "Wow."
So I can excuse this whole scale and that way.
I was just kind of stunned because I'm like, and I mean, I've rated 4,100 beers, and to this day I've never given anything over a 4.5.
Right, which then at least you can calibrate everything based on that. Because if you have a good beer, you got somewhere to put it.
Right.
On the top end where he doesn't have anywhere to put it.
Correct. Yeah. We have a lot more area that we can go up or down, where everything is, you only go so far. But yeah, I was just I thought it was kind of funny because I thought, oh my gosh, your average beer is a 4.5. And I was like, well, no wonder your average is
right. And I think
whatever.
It's good to point that out because, I mean, even though our number's 2.5 and a lot of these, it's not saying it's a bad beer, but that's based on you got some pretty good data, and 2.5 is the average stuff. I mean, and that's good. I mean, so it gives everybody out there a good understanding of how this.
Oh, exactly.
You're not degrading any. Nope. But you're not overrating, but you're being honest and truthful.
Yep. And everybody's scale is different. Some people will rate this, look at what we did, and say, man, you guys are crazy. That's way better, way worse, whatever. So it's all based on your personal preference. I will say this: I would much rather drink any one of these beers we've had here today than I would instead of drinking a big beer. The big beer company beers, because these have flavor and very good.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. So I am definitely not upset about this. So Irish red. All right.
And it looks a little bit reddish, doesn't it?
Reddish. Yeah. Now an Irish red, like a red ale, like I said before, usually doesn't have a lot of flavor, but Irish reds have more flavor than your normal
Is this
red.
dry hop, you think, or no?
That I don't know. They don't have a whole lot of hops to it. Okay. However it's made, they have other stuff in it to give it a little more flavor. So it's
all right.
Yeah, you can smell it a little more than the last one. I think that it's got a little sweetness to it.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of flavor, which kind of it surprised me a little bit.
Right, I was expecting more
Irish, like your Irish reds and stuff. Typically, have a little bit more flavor to them, but it's. Like I said, it's not bad, and it's got a little sweetness. It kind of caught me off guard a little bit. I mean, at the end, it's got a little bit of a sweet taste to it.
Because we've had some good Irish beers. I mean, I'm not talking Guinness, but Irish beers. Mm-hmm. But this one doesn't even have the hoppy. There's not a hoppy. I'm trying to pick out what flavors out there. I'm not really getting that flavor again.
Like I said, it's kind of more along the lines of a red, where there's just typically not a whole lot of flavor to them. My opinion, I'm right in there with you. If somebody out there, you really like red ales, that's awesome. I have no problem with that. Like I said, just my opinion, they're a little bit lower on the flavor scale. And this one is not bad, but it's just kind of.
I think again we kind of got spoiled on that first fight. I mean, they really had some good flavor in there. Now we're starting to get some that don't have the flavor.
Right.
Now we didn't have the IBUs.
Right.
To write these down.
Right,
this is definitely. Down. I mean, these are down there in some IBUs because I'm not chasing the hops. So that flavor, right?
Even the hazy IPA was not very hoppy. So
sure.
If you're not big into hops, I mean, any one of these beers would be good. So I don't know. I mean, this is not offensive at all.
The Second State Brewer, the brewmaster, seems like he knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's definitely. I mean, he's mastering his craft.
For sure. I mean, it's. This is one of those places, again, like I said, we'll post some pictures. I'll take some pictures of the brewery itself so you can kind of see where we're at. And I'll post those on the social media as well.
And Mike, just make sure you don't go across the street here because it looks like there's an axe throwing place over there too. So we got to make sure we know where we're going when we leave here.
Yeah, exactly. So you can come here and have some beers, and you probably can have beers over there and throw axes. Because every place I've ever been where you can throw axes, you can drink. Because what could possibly go wrong?
Right. Well, they do have some metal grates on the windows over there, so
well,
I guess they're not going to come through the windows at us.
Yeah. So in case you get turned around when you're throwing axes, you're fine. They got metal, almost like chicken wire type or metal cage on the windows. So interesting.
So what do you want to give on this one? Because again, I don't know where to even start with that.
Yeah, this one I'd probably go probably a 2.7.
All right. Yep.
A little better than average. Again, like I said, it would have been. I was expecting a little bit more, kind of a more distinct Irish red flavor, but again, I think it was good.
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
Not offensive.
Correct.
I'd stay with it, right? 2.7.
All right. So the next one we have is a vanilla cream stout.
I've been kind of looking forward to this one all night, seeing that one on the list.
This one's almost got
towards the end.
At the bottom of the glass, it's almost got a little bit of a reddish color
to it there.
Yeah, that's kind of.
So I'm hoping for the best on this one, buddy.
You can smell the vanilla. It's not as strong as the marshmallow in the other one, but you can definitely smell it.
Well, my fingers are crossed because we're getting close to the finish line here. So hopefully we can end on a high note with these.
And one more.
Ooh, it's got a good smell.
And it's a vanilla cream, so it's got to be like a milk stout or a cream stout. So it definitely is smoother.
Yep.
I like the flavor of that. The vanilla it's not overpowering, but it's enough there. You get a little bit of a sweetness to it. Yeah, that's pretty good.
So that one is not bad. I mean, that's what I've noticed. I think the way that they do their blending of their flavors, nothing really stands out. It's not like everything seems subtle, doesn't it? I mean, just my opinion. There's there's a sharp,
it's
biting,
not overpowering or anything like that.
And this one is one of the better ones where it's got a good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the vanilla is not over the top.
Correct.
It's just that subtle. You're drinking, and all of a sudden you finish, and then what's left on your tongue is that little bit of vanilla flavor.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a good.
I agree with you because, like I said, I think what you were kind of getting at is nothing overpowers everything else in the flavor of their beer, and that's kind of a hard thing to do at times because we've had a lot of beers where, there's just a certain flavor that overpowers the whole thing, and you can't taste any of the other stuff.
Right, and then they might have 5 or 6 different flavors in there.
Right.
But you're not you only get that one flavor because they put too much in there. And rather than I think here they've got one flavor that they're sticking with and trying to let the taster get a good flavor from there, which I think is good.
Oh yeah, I agree. That's very good.
I mean, this is one of their better ones, I think, right here.
Yeah, I mean that's up there with the s'mores. I think. I mean that's a very good one. And the cream in it, that lactose kind of mellows out, gives it a little bit of a smoother mouthfeel a little bit. It's not, I don't think they have a huge amount in there, but it's very good. I'm impressed.
Yeah, so, this is up there. This is, again, I mean, I think that we hit a jackpot here with.
Yeah, they redeemed themselves.
Yeah. So what are you thinking on
that one?
On your stars?
I think that's like a 3.5 in my opinion.
Yeah, I would even go 3.6.
Yeah, we can do 3.6.
I mean, you all right with that?
Yeah.
I mean, because it is, so based on that, I mean, that is actually now better than our Blood Orange. So that is the number one beer we've had so far tonight.
Right.
We're down to our last one. We're getting ready to cross the finish line here.
Yep. And this is their Schwarzbier. So it's kind of a dark.
Yep, that's dark.
A dark rice. It also kind of has a little bit of a reddish hue at the bottom of the glass. Like your normal Schwarzbiers would be.
Uh-oh.
Well, no, I'm trying to pick up the smell.
I know. Sometimes the facial expressions give away the smell. So they can't see your facial expression.
Let me know what you think of that one. I was looking forward to this one as well. My opinion, it's a little bit lacking. Yeah, I've had other Schwarzbier and they have a little bit more of a stronger taste to them. This one is very subtle.
Yeah, it's almost like that Vienna Lager. I mean, they almost taste the same. They're different styles, but I mean, the flavors are not.
I mean, they're well. I guess back to when we've said how they definitely their flavors are very blended together, very balanced. But on a few of these, it needed more.
You need one of their flavors that kind of stick out with this.
But like I said, it's not offensive at all. But there's just not.
It almost to me like some of those big name brands. It's almost like it's too generic. It's like for the public.
Yes.
It's not for the beer drinker that's looking for a sharp flavor.
Right.
This is pretty mellow.
Very mellow.
I mean,
I'd agree with you. I mean, it's
if you were looking for a Schwarzbier, you just wanted to have one. This is the place to come to me. If
you've never tried one before,
this would be the place.
This would be a good one to have because it's not going to be scare you away. not strong. Because, like I said, some of the Schwarzbiers we've had definitely have a stronger flavor to them. And I'm not saying this is bad or if it's not, but like I said, if you've never had a Schwarzbier, I would definitely try this one.
For sure.
And then try some other ones after that. But
at least I think you can good start here. I mean, it's definitely one of those. I mean, because we've tried a lot of different beers. So, I mean, we have hell, it's a little wider than probably most people. But, I mean, from what we've tasted, this is not, unfortunately, this is not one of their better beers of this flight that we've had attended.
The more you try it, the more you can pick up on some of these flavors and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's that's the thing. Before we knew that beer was supposed to have flavor, everything tasted the same.
Right. Now you can pick up the little nuances in all these beers.
Correct. So,
and I think that's a good point for everybody out there listening. I mean, I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone too every once in a while. Not very often, but I try to. But I mean, just coming to a nice bar like this, 10 beers.
Yep.
I mean, anybody can come to a small little craft brewery like this.
Yep.
And I mean, you're not going to be disappointed by coming here.
Oh, exactly.
In my opinion, I mean, this is a nice little place.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
so
friendly.
I guess. Okay. On the Schwarzbier. Yeah. Where do you think that one kind of?
Gosh, I'm unfortunately like in the 2.5, 2.6.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, it's just it needed a little bit more.
Wait, 2.5 is
2.5. Yeah.
All right.
Well, folks, that was Second State Brewing in Cedar Falls, Iowa. I apologize. We are actually down in Cedar Falls here for a couple of days, and we're going to probably hit one or two more breweries. So we're going to have a few more. We'll give you kind of the rundown on those and all that good stuff. So anyway, Jim, I think.
I was going to say, I was just going to give our top three, our top 10.
How would you rate them? What were your?
I think for what we on our scale. So our number one was the vanilla
cream stout.
Yep, which that was great. Number two was the blood orange blonde, and then our number three was s'mores.
Yep.
So I agree. Yeah. The flavors of those three were by far the best. So if you're in the area and you stop by Second State Brewing, I mean, I'd recommend any one of those three.
And feel free to try all of them. I mean, it's they do flights. And just try as many as you can. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that I'm in the same thing with what you said. I'd give those same 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So I really think that they did a great job. I mean, I am impressed. I think we've been to some breweries that you've had some good beers and then some very not good beers. And here, I'd say they're all good. They're all good. So yeah. I think if the other places are like this, we're going to have a good weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're starting off on a really good foot tonight. So, I mean, this is good. So, hey, thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Definitely.
Anytime we can have beer like this, I'm all game for it.
Thank you for listening to the Northwoods Beer Guy Podcast. If you have a question, a comment, or a beer you'd like us to review, please feel free to send us a message at northwoodsbeerguy@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're on Untappd, look up Northwoods Beer Guy and send a friend request. Until next week, I hope all your campfires are warm and all your beer is cold.